Minister, this government states that this legislation is aimed at keeping so-called cowboy builders out of the industry, so that everybody should be confident in the knowledge that their homes are built to the highest standards, that any professional service they use are also of a certain standard. I sincerely hope that this government's aim to guard against a reoccurrence of housing defects that were legacies of poor construction design, workmanship and materials will work. And I sincerely hope this don't put the building of a home by so many young people skyrocketing out of price controls. The pressure, Minister, young people are being put under is unbelievable. Planning permissions in West Cork, my own constituency, is almost a nightmare move for people who want to start off life and build their own home, the very right that anyone should have in their own country. It should be enshrined in our constitution. In a recent poll we carried out, that was carried out for me in West Cork, we found that 70% of planning applications were being turned down on the first attempt. This is truly shocking, as these are local farmers, teachers, shop assistants, nurses, home helps, trying to get a boost in life and trying to go ahead with their first home. Why has this government put so many stupid rules and regulations before these good people? How long have you lived in your area? What connection do you have with the area? Surely be to God, Minister, that if someone finds a job in the community, wants to live, have children, contribute to the community and prove this, it opens them up to getting planning. But I'm afraid this is not happening. So instead of it being 70% acceptance in getting planning, it's the wrong way around. This government's green agenda, anti-rural policies feeding its way into county development plans, as smaller communities like Rathbarry and Clonakilty, like many more, Adrigole, Rossmore, Ring, Gagan and many more are now excluded in the government's attempts, as their village nucleus in the county development plan. The government's attempt to force people into bigger towns that are already overcrowded and have no living accommodations. It is scandalous to think that this is the type of county development plan is what faces the people of West Cork. And this is it. I urge any councillor who wants to protect rural Ireland to reject this county development plan out immediately and take control of the plan, like we did when I was in the council, which included rural communities. There is a fury in West Cork, and my advice is, unless you're a nod and wing councillor, reject this plan out of hand unless immediate changes are being made. Minister, we have to look at towns who still have outdated sewage systems. Castletownshend and Goleen, and I hear so many announcements time after time from former politicians, government politicians, now government politicians. Castletownshend is going to be included, this is going to be included, and everything. And you know, they rehash the announcements so often that God knows and the God is hard to know. It's hard to know was the system that was they were talking about first gone in and after being replaced again. But how can these towns develop? How can the EPA stand idly by knowing that these towns need urgent sewer works, while the organisation is chasing every farmer in the country, watching in case a neck cup full of effluent spills into a river? For God's sake, Minister, it's time to wake up and smell the grass grow. Look at Clonakilty, a town which urgently needs development. People screaming out for houses. Only last week, planning for 93 houses in Miles Road, Clonakilty, was refused by the Cork County Council due to a lack of water. Good God, Minister, if this was in our capital, Dublin, it would be a crisis beyond words that would have to be debated over and over again. But not here, because it's Clonakilty, it's West Cork, it falls off the radar as such, so people can do without water. People can face a summer without water if we have a crisis situation. Young people that want to get planning permission won't be able to get planning permission because there's no water. A simple, basic right is water to a home. And it looks like now we're being told it could be 4 years. This will have a devastating effect for areas like Rosscarbery and Timoleague, as well as Clonakilty. And that 93 house development would have been a welcome boost for a town like Clonakilty, the same as what Bantry needs and what Skibbereen and all these towns need. But unfortunately, our government is asleep at the wheel, and they're forgetting to put the funding where they should be. There's no point in throwing 200 and something million out to Aberdeen when you're outside, when the Taoiseach is outside there. Put that type of money into West Cork and rebuild rural communities and give the people the same right as they're entitled to have. The bottom line is your housing legislations have been shocking down through the years and left people without homes, sadly. Council houses, I know plenty of places that want to start off, and people that want to start off in life, and you've refused them that right, and it'll come back to haunt you eventually.